So for the next part of the semester, what you're going to be doing is working on a repeat design with your exquisite corpse. Okay, and this presentation, it's only 7 slides, just shows you what we can do and why we're doing it. Okay, so this one's called Repeat, and if I go to the next slide, oops, hello, there you go. We're trying to mimic a style of design from about the 1700s, okay, called Le Toit. And you've seen this on your nan's dinner plates, okay? It stands for canvas, to be fair, that word. And the scenes on the artwork, the wallpaper, the ceramics, depicts everyday life, okay? And why we're doing this is because a company present day called Timorous Beasties produced designs in a similar style. So you've got things like people being held up by gunpoint. You've got police cars. You've got teenagers on park benches and so forth, and skateboarders. And the idea is when you see this wallpaper, you go, oh look, it's like an old-fashioned design. And then you look closely and you start to think, oh wow, okay, it's a bit different. So that's where we're kind of going with it. This is my example, okay? I've just scanned that at Hugh Baird. To scan a design, all you do is get your artwork, okay? You get your artwork, you place it down on the bed of the scanner or the photocopier, press copy, and then a box will appear saying email. Just click on that and it'll go yellow, okay? And then press go, okay, the big button. And that will go to your email, your 400 number, okay? This is what we're going to do. We're going to take it into Photoshop and manipulate it in some fashion. This process literally takes about 3 minutes to do if you know what you're doing. So, you know, we'll get there. We can then maybe look at an environment. We could actually put it into a room as a wallpaper or a soft furnishing like this. Okay, so this is my example. And we can do that. It'll be a lot of fun, okay? Trust me. Let me just close this page down. Okay. To open up Photoshop, you have to go to your Finder. When you go to Finder, you'll see applications and you'll find all your applications in there, like your Word, and Photoshop in this case. I want you to open up Photoshop, and when you do, you'll be presented with this board, okay? When you go to File, New, or Create New. In this case, I clicked on Print, and I'm choosing not not A4, which is this size. I want A3, which is double that size, as that'll be the size that you put into your portfolio eventually, okay? Bit of paper. So it's that one there. On the right hand side, you'll see the size of the page in millimeters. This is going to be portrait. That's landscape. Okay, so that's that way. I want it portrait because for me that's what I want to do this design with. Okay, I could put it on wallpaper eventually, whatever. 300 resolution. That's the quality. That's really where you want it. If it's anything less, it'll be very pixeled and very pixelated. Okay, and it won't be great to look at. It's an RGB, which stands for red, green and blue, which is screen resolution for the Apple Macs and PCs, etc. If you wanted to do it for a magazine or print, you'd put it on CMYK. But for this, RGB. Press create. Okay, I've downloaded my initial design of my man and I put him in my downloads folder, and I've subsequently put him onto my desktop, and you can just see him here. There he is. So what I'm going to do is click on him and drag him across and press enter or OK. Now you'll be presented with this box. Don't worry, get your mouse, go to the corner, okay, and just rotate it. If you press shift, the shift key, it will do it in increments like this, okay. The shift key is the second key up on your keyboard. It's like an arrow. Okay, I'm going to press enter, and there we have it. Okay, what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to rasterize this layer because it's come from an email and I won't be able to edit it in any way, and I know it needs rasterizing because if you look over on the layers palette here, there we go, it's got a little square. So I'm going to right click on the actual layer and I'm going to go to rasterize layer, and you see that little square's disappeared. So I can now edit this. I can actually chop it up and do all kinds. It's really cool. to get rid of this area here and this black line, I'm going to go to this tool here. It's called a rectangular marquee tool. There it goes. If I hover over it and leave my mouse there, it will actually give me a demonstration. Okay, I'm going to chop this off. Oops, bit too high. And press delete. There we go. That bit there. I'm getting close to the actual artwork because I know I'm going to get rid of all the what we call like the white matter. Okay, there we go. So if I go to my layers palette, I've got my original layer, which is white. I'm going to click on the eye, and you can actually see what I've done. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in now. To do that, I'm going to press Command. Command is next to your spacebar, okay, and it says CMD. So I'm going to press Command, and I'm going to press the plus sign. Okay, there we go. If you want to zoom out, minus. Easy enough done. What I'm going to do, while I've got my layer selected, okay, I'm going to go to Select, go to Color Range, because I'm going to actually choose white by clicking on it like that. And this slider, if I go right down, it'll take only little bits of white that are pure white. If I take it right to the top, it starts to take not only the white, but also greys and all kinds that are similar to white. So I don't want to take some of this detail, so I'm just going to put it about there, about 3/4, and press OK. Ta-da! My walking ants are now displaying what I'm going to delete. Delete. There you go, I've just pressed delete. Now you see these walking ants, they're a bit of a nuisance, aren't they? So what you can do is you can get rid of them. And you do that by going to Select. Now it's deselect. Now if you go along, there's a little symbol. That's on the Command key. We've just been using that. And it says D. So I'm just going to move away. So I'm going to press Command and D. And that's what they are. So they're called quick key commands, and you'll find them all over Photoshop and Illustrator and any of the other Adobe products. There they are there. Oops, there you go. So I think he's a bit washy, don't you think? Do you think he's a bit grey? I don't think he's going to show up too well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make him darker. And to do that, you go to Image, because I'm about to affect the image or play with the image. I'm going to go to Adjustments. And in this case, you've got lots of different things you can play with. However, I know it's this key here, Levels. There we go. So with the levels, if I move this black to the white, it'll go white. See? If I move the white to the black, it will go black. Press OK. Ta-da! Happy, I am. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to press the Command and the minus key and move out. Okay? I'm going to go to our tool palette here on the left. There's loads of tools here. And in your career as a designer, if you choose that, you might not actually use all of these, okay? It's good to know what they do, but you might not always use them all. In this case, I'm going to go to the basic tool, and it's the Move tool. So today what we're going to be using is the Move tool and that square tool. Don't think we're going to use anything else, to be fair. We don't need to. Actually, take it back. We'll use the paint bucket to give it a colour, okay? So I'm going to move this guy around the page. Happy days. But you know what? I think he's too big. I want kind of him to be really much smaller so I can make a pattern. So I'm going to press Command T. So Command on your keypad and the letter T will get that box up. Now if I go to the corner and move it, it does this. Look at that. You don't want that. That's distorting it. Stop that by pressing the Shift key. See? I'm going to have him about that big. I'm going to move him up here and put him just there. Press Enter. Now I'm going to zoom in, okay? Remember what zoom is? Command plus. What's happened? He is there, don't worry. Press your spacebar, and while keeping your finger on your spacebar, don't just click it once and let go. Keep your finger on it with your right hand of the mouse. Just move them around. It's like navigating around the page. How cool is that? Okay. Got it? So I'm going to copy and paste him. Okay, there's 2, 3, 4 ways we can do this. I'll show you 2 ways. These are our layers. To get that again, I could drag it down just next to the bin. There's a little plus symbol. There you go. Move them across, and I've got 2 copies. Okay, that's one way of doing it. I'm just going to delete that. The other way, because I'm all about quick key commands and kind of working effectively and efficiently, okay, there's a button next to the command key. In my case, it says Option. In your case, if you're using another type of Mac, it might actually say Alt, okay? So it's just a little square. But on the chap's head, you'll see the arrow. Look at it. It's 2 arrows. So I'm going to keep my finger on this Option key. Move them across. And there you go. As you can see, there, we've made 2 layers. Are we okay so far? Remember, you can always go back with this. I'm going to spin him around, okay? Like Kylie Minogue once said. I'm going to go to Command T, go to the corner, and I'm going to spin him. There you go. And I'm going to have him just like this. Hello. So he's kind of giving him a carrot. Press enter. Okay. So I'm going to make this into a repeat pattern. And to do that, I could literally draw a square around it. Just like so. Okay. And copy those layers together. To do that, go to Edit, Copy Merged. Okay. Copy Merging. Get it? Clue is in the title. So I've copied that, and then I'm going to go to Edit and Paste. Yeah, go to my Move tool. I can have that there, and I can literally duplicate this all over the page. Okay, but I'm going to make a brush, okay, for you, and show you how to do that. Dead simple. So as we've just done, there's a copy, merge. So Edit, Copy Merged. This time I'm going to make a new page. New page. And you see where it says clipboard? Don't click on A4, A3, anything else. Just press Create. And then paste it. Edit, paste. Ta-da! What I want you to look at is the layer palette here. You've got your layer and then the white layer. Let's get rid of this white layer. And we're going to save that. The white layer is white canvas behind your image. And we want it to be transparent so we can actually put colour through and see through this design. Okay? What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Edit. And what we're going to do is go to Define Pattern. Oh, you're going to like this. You ready? Pattern 1. Let's call him Crazy Dude. Yeah, because he's a crazy dude. Oops. Not crazy dude. Crazy dude. Crazy dude. Press OK. I'm going to go back to my image now. Just going to zoom out. Command minus. Okay. Those walking ants, those pesky walking ants. Remember, Command D. Don't need these anymore. I'm just going to click on the eyes. Okay. And because I'm going to paint our design on that canvas in front of us, I'm going to make a new layer, an empty layer. There it is. It's next to the bin, just here. This time, I'm going to go to my paint bucket. Here he is. If you don't see a paint bucket, it's because it's under the gradient tool. There he is. Okay, paint bucket. When you select paint bucket or any of these tools, all the options come up on the top. Can you see? I'm going to go to foreground because I don't want it to paint it in the foreground colour, which is white at the moment. I'm going to click on pattern because we've just made one. Click on that, and there he is. It's the second one I did. What we can do is paint our design. Click. Ta-da! How cool. So it's a really nice uniform way of doing it, and I've only used one layer. Okay, if I'd copy and pasted our little man across the page lots of times, it would be about 5 or 6, 10, 15 layers, and you don't really want that. It gets a bit messy. Okay, so what can we do with this now? Well, I'll show you. What we can do is make a new layer, just there. We can now go to our paint bucket and choose a colour. I'm going to choose blue. Yeah, let's have a pastel-y type blue, okay? Press OK. But just remember, if you press paint now, it'll just paint that design. I don't want that. I want to go to pattern at the top, go to foreground, because we're about to paint it in this colour, and paint. But don't worry, see the layers? There you go. If I just move that down by clicking on it and moving it, you've got your design. So what we've gone through is not only the move tool, the rectangular marquee tool, the paint bucket options. We've looked at layers and kind of reorganizing layers. We've also, what we're going to do now, it's kind of a really nice cheat. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my rectangular marquee tool, just draw a square around the whole thing like that. And I'm going to go to edit, copy merge. Remember what copy merge does? Yeah? Copy merge. Takes all the layers that we can see right now. Go to edit and paste. Don't worry if you can't see it, it's just there. I'm just going to move it up so it's the highest layer. I don't want to see these other layers, so just click on them. Here's a nice quick kind of fix. Okay, so we've got this blue and black. What's the opposite of blue on the spectrum and the opposite of black? Okay, I'll show you by going to, should we say select, and I think it's invert, well it's inverse, but I'm just gonna actually do it. It's in, there we go, invert. So it's Command I, okay, Command I. So if you click Command I, this is what you get. You get another design, okay, so you can play with it as much as you want. It's pretty cool. When you've done that, I want you to go to File and Save As, okay? Now I'm going to save this to my desktop. In your case, please save it to your documents or a pen drive. Remember, if you save it to your desktop, it'll only appear on that desktop that you're using right now. It won't actually follow you around the university, okay? So desktop for me, because that's where I save my stuff. Give it a name, Crazy Dude, okay? And that was the red. There you go. Why can't I spell tonight? Red. Okay. If you save it as a Photoshop document, all the layers will be there. That's cool, because you want to, you know, be able to manipulate it. However, if you go to File, the format, and change it to JPEG, okay, it will flatten it all together. And that's not bad if you want to email it yourself and open it up at home, or put it into a PowerPoint or anything. Because if it's a Photoshop document, you won't be able to do that, okay? So I'm going to save it as a PSD, and I'm going to save it, put it on your Teams page, so you can then look at this document and play with it if you want, okay? Happy days. So guys, to put it into a room, that's another story. I won't show you here, okay? But just go through this video again, and just, you know, stop it and have a go with your own exquisite corpse, manipulate it, change the size, okay? And if you've got any questions, just get me on Teams. So I'll catch you later. Have a nice evening. Good night.